Hi Cancer, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. This is a general love reading for the sign of Cancer for this upcoming week in March. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're brand new or unfamiliar with my readings, go ahead and take a look at the description box below for anything you might be curious about. I do want to remind everybody watching that this is a general reading, so it can pertain to relationships, situations, circumstances, work, family, you name it, it might apply. Also be flexible with the energy. You may feel like I'm reading for you, but you could also potentially feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. My intention is always to reach the people that need the message and will benefit the most from the message. So take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. I hope you get something out of it. And then Carmilla is also here for your reading. If you're unfamiliar, this is my son's bird. She likes to hang out when I do my readings. So here we go, Cancer. Let's see what we've got for you. We've got Three of Pentacles in reverse, paired with the Fool. The Two of Pentacles in reverse, with the Star. The Six of Cups in reverse. Three of Swords. The Ten of Swords in reverse. With the Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, so Cancer, the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw these two cards, especially paired together, is that you might be dissatisfied with or leaving a work situation or maybe a connection that just isn't panning out to be what you had hoped it would be, and maybe starting off on a new adventure on your own. This looks like, to me, this guy is just packed up after leaving a situation that just wasn't working and ready to start something brand new or go off on his own to try something different, take a chance on something different. Same thing with these two cards. Two of Pentacles in reverse can indicate making a mistake or dropping the ball or missing a deadline or losing balance in a situation where you were just trying to maintain too many things at one time. But I feel like maybe this downfall or the situation that didn't work out for you may actually work out in the end, and I feel like there's some hope or at least some positive energy moving forward past something that didn't work out for you. Now we have the Six of Cups with the Three of Swords. So the situation could have also resulted in a lost connection or possibly a situation. This could be related to a connection where things didn't work out and there was some grief and some heartache. The Six of Cups can indicate soulmate energy, someone you're very close to, a connection that's very significant to you. Six of Cups in reverse can indicate hanging on to negative energy, negative memories. Maybe there was a breakup or a separation or a disagreement. Possibly connected to, or it actually is the reason that you are leaving something behind that just didn't work out. Maybe the relationship itself was the thing that you are dropping and leaving behind to move on to something bigger and better or something more positive for you. Ten of Swords in reverse, Five of Swords in reverse. To me, this indicates maybe this is something that's been a repeated pattern for you. Conflict that you've dealt with in the past, that you've revisited. Maybe you were trying to make amends or you were trying to work things out and just realized that it just wasn't going to happen. And you're ready to leave that behind. Or this could also indicate that you're having some trouble releasing this out of your mind. Maybe you're thinking about it. Maybe you're dwelling on it. Still concerned about the fact that maybe whatever it is that you're walking away from has gone unresolved or there's no closure. But it could indicate to me, again, just leaving something behind that maybe you tried to go back to and tried to make work, but it just isn't panning out for you. And at this point in time, it looks like you're ready to drop it and walk away and possibly try something new. Let's see what else we get for you. We have the Hierophant, clarifying the Three of Pentacles. And the Fool in reverse, clarifying the Fool. Interesting. Ace of Swords. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. The Page of Wands in reverse. Justice in reverse. Wheel of Fortune. And the Six of Wands in reverse. So there may be some fear, or you might be feeling a little cautious about moving on to something new, moving on to something different. But with the Hierophant clarifying the Three of Pentacles, I feel like at least there's this energy that you feel like it's the right thing to do, to leave something behind that just isn't working out for you. Again, this could be a connection with a person or a group of people or a workplace situation. But I do feel like you've tried and you've maybe gone back and then tried again and things are still not working out. But I get the sense that because you haven't just given this up the first time around, that when things didn't work out the first time around, you've gone back and you've tried again. Because of that, I get the feeling like you've kind of cemented it in your head that, yeah, this isn't right for me. I've tried this, I've gone back, I've tried again, I've tried to fix things, still not working. So I am confident at this point in time that it is ready. It is time for me to move on. But there's this connection, Six of Cups connection, that I think that you're feeling pretty heartbroken about, and maybe feeling this is the one thing that you probably didn't want to leave behind, or the one thing that you didn't want to leave unresolved. With this Page of Wands, Six of Cups, to me this indicates just something that you might be still dwelling on, feeling bad about, feeling like there's a level of injustice, that this is the one thing that you didn't want to leave unresolved or without closure, or the one thing that you wanted to fix by going back into the situation and trying to work things out. I mean, like I said, this could potentially be a job or workplace situation and a relationship, one or the other or both. And there is the sense that walking away or leaving this behind without a sense of closure might be the one thing that has you feeling a little stuck or reluctant or a little bit hesitant to move forward, to move on, and to let this go altogether. And that could be why we have the Fool in the upright and the reverse in your underlying energy cards. You're just unsure, uncertain. On the one hand, you feel like you're ready to let this go and move on to something new. On the other hand, I think that there is this connection that's kind of holding you back or making you feel hesitant to let it all go for something brand new. Let's get some more cards for you, Cancer. We have the Four of Wands. Nine of Wands in reverse. The Chariot. Eight of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. Ace of Swords again. Five of Cups in reverse. and Strength in reverse. So again, I'm getting the feeling that on the one hand, there is the sense of you dropping the ball or not quite making things work out. But the truth of the matter is it gave you some clarity because you went back and you tried again, you made the effort. But the cards are indicating it is the right thing to move on, to move forward, to get away from these past mistakes and possibly try something new. I do feel that, again, this could be a workplace or a job situation. Eight of Pentacles in reverse can indicate that dissatisfaction in a job or just feeling unsatisfied or not feeling like this is right for you. And Eight of Cups indicates moving on. But Eight of Cups also indicates moving on from a situation that could have emotions attached to it. Something emotional, something that took you some time to work through. And again, we have indication that this connection or relationship might be the one thing that you're still dwelling on or still thinking about. I think that you invested a considerable amount of time and energy into this relationship or connection, and the fact that it's failed or the fact that you might be leaving it behind or walking away from this connection, I think has you feeling considerably heartbroken, maybe some grief, maybe some heartache, and facing this truth is an uncomfortable situation for you. And again, you might be feeling like this is unjustified to have to walk away from something that was unsatisfactory in your life, but having to leave something behind maybe that you felt was positive or good for you. I think your intent is to heal from this, to, again, if you did revisit the situation, let's say you had left something and then went back to see if you could try again and make things work. I think the purpose behind that was to make sure that you were making the right decisions so that you could heal from it once and for all. And I think that's partially what you might be experiencing, that you are feeling more confident on the one hand about part of this significant event in your life that you're leaving behind. And again, it could be the workplace or job situation, but then feeling less confident about leaving behind possibly the emotional connection or connections that you made in this situation. Let's say, for example, you were in a workplace situation where the job just was really crappy, or the money was really bad, or the boss was shitty to you, or whatever the case may be. But on the other hand, you made some really nice connections, or a connection, some good friends, or even a romantic connection, whatever that looks like for you. And then leaving this job behind for whatever reason also meant that you had to walk away from the positive things. And I do feel like that's what's probably holding you back a little bit, or feeling a little nervous, or a lack of security with your decision. Let me give this deck one more shuffle, and then we're going to get some more cards out here for you, Cancer, and see if we can get some more information for you. Okay. We have the Hermit in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Cups, the Six of Swords in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles again, Four of Swords in reverse, the Hanged Man, and the Two of Pentacles again in reverse. So you might even be reconsidering trying again with this Hangman, Two of Pentacles, maybe after giving yourself some time for recovery, maybe going back and seeing if you can try again. And I do feel like it's because of a connection or multiple connections that you would be going back to try again. But if you go back, you're stuck with that other piece of the puzzle. Don't bite my ear. The other piece of the puzzle, which is a dissatisfactory job situation possibly, or financial situation. Again, I do feel like because you've invested a lot of time and energy into this situation, it is difficult for you just to walk away from it, to leave it behind and just give up. Because there is a sense that you may be feeling a little hesitant about this idea of just throwing in the towel and waving your hands in the air and saying, I give up, I don't want to do this anymore. Probably not in your nature, Cancer, to not make a significant effort, especially if there's something that matters to you, that's important to you. And again, I do feel like the connection or connections. The Six of Cups can represent more than one person. I keep thinking back about my son who left a job that he hated and lamented the fact that he missed seeing his friends, because he had made friends with all the people, coworkers and stuff that he worked with, and that was the hardest part. Even though, you know, it doesn't mean that you have to walk away from relationships. If you walk away from a workplace situation or a job, for example, you just don't see those people or that one person as much as you would if you were still working with them. That's the kind of the scenario I've got going through my head here, Cancer. Like something's pulling on your heartstrings, making you think twice about a decision that you've made and reconsidering the possibility of maybe going back again, because you don't want to leave this one thing behind, which could be a connection. So we have the Queen of Wands, Six of Cups again, Seven of Swords, King of Wands, Eight of Cups, Five of Cups again in reverse, Strength again in reverse, and the Devil in reverse. So I think that the Queen of Wands is the person that you're dealing with. Cancer, I want to remind you we have two court cards out here that are significant. I feel like they're separate energies. But you could be one or the other of these people. You decide. But I feel like this Queen of Wands is the person you might be walking away from, or the person that, I don't know that you're necessarily walking away from this person, but I do feel like they're connected to the situation that I feel like you've let go. And the Queen of Wands is somebody who's very ambitious, creative. This is somebody who goes after what she wants. She's very active. This can be somebody who other people look up to. This person commands a lot of attention. It can be very attractive. Again, this is not a wallflower or someone who just waits for things to fall in her lap. She is somebody who is very ambitious, and her personality is alluring and quite attractive. And I do feel like this could potentially be the person that you are connected with and feeling a little bit uncertain about leaving behind, or leaving behind this situation because I do feel like this person's connected to this situation. I feel like the King of Wands could represent your energy. And again, this is... The King of Wands is somebody who, in this case, I feel like is somebody who's kind of given up on a situation. This could be somebody who felt like his full potential wasn't being met in the situation that you were in, Cancer, that maybe, in other words, you had more to offer than what you were able to show in this situation, whatever it was for you, workplace situation, job, or whatever, that you didn't feel like your full potential was being appreciated. That's what I'm getting out of these cards. And that if you were to return to the situation, again, you're stuck with having to face the fact that this is just an unsatisfactory situation to be in for you. But with the Seven of Swords coming out here with this Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, to me this may indicate that you're maybe trying to convince yourself that the connection you've made is enough to keep you wanting to return, or wanting to go back, or wanting to try and make things work. That there's a certain level of deceit that maybe you are playing yourself a little bit, trying to convince yourself that this is enough to want to go back and try again. Or, on the other hand, maybe even seeing this for what it is and thinking, you know what? I can't fool myself into thinking that this relationship is going to make me happy, or this connection or these connections are going to make me happy, and that I'll be satisfied in this situation because of the emotional connections I've made. Is that enough? Is that going to be enough to keep me where I am and make me feel satisfied? By the way, I'm lashing my head around because she's under my hair, biting at my ear, or at least threatening to. Come here, Carmela. Don't be a jerk. Come here. I can see you in the camera. And I need you to stop biting me if you're going to be under my hair. Come here. Ouch. See, she acts really vicious. She doesn't really bite that hard, but enough to scare the person whose finger is sitting out here exposed. And she obviously doesn't want to come on my shoulder. All right, I'll leave her there. But you better not make me bleed, Carmela. So again, I get the feeling that the one thing that's kind of holding you back is this desire or need to heal from something that, again, an emotional connection or some heartbreak surrounding a connection. And I feel like this is what you're struggling with. And you may be rethinking the situation. I'm trying to figure out, and I guess this could be different for everybody, but I'm trying to figure out why giving up on this one piece of the puzzle is forcing you to have to consider giving up on a Six of Cups relationship. And I guess that depends on your situation and your story. But that's what it feels like to me. It feels like you can't have one without the other. And that's what feels like is the conflict in this reading, is that dissatisfied with one thing, but you can't have the one thing that you are happy with without going back to the thing you aren't happy with. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, Cancer. I'm not seeing an answer or a solution for you in the cards. Just your current energy and how you're feeling. Does feel like you are in a state of rest or kind of still thinking about this or working through things. maybe trying to regain some courage or strength to make a final decision. Let's get one card from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. See if we can't get some advice for you, Cancer, or something that will help you move forward in this situation, or something that will help you cement your feelings so that you can make a decision for yourself. What's a card for Cancer? I don't want 3 or 4, I just want 1. I can definitely see, Cancer, why you wouldn't want to stick around in a situation where you're feeling like you're not reaching your full potential, or you're not being appreciated for what you have to offer. Especially if you're a King of Wands energy. I mean, the King of Wands can be someone who's kind of a natural born leader, someone who can be the boss. Somebody who can navigate through challenging situations, accept challenges and responsibility, delegate and manage other people, and delegate responsibility to other people. So if you're that type of energy, then I can see why you wouldn't want to stick around in a situation where you're not able to reach your full potential, that type of thing. And maybe this Queen of Wands, because I'm taking these two because they were flopping out. This Queen of Wands feels like she could be probably content in this situation. She's sticking around. It's not like, she has this connection to you and says, well, Cancer's taken off, so I'm going to go too. I don't feel like that's a situation that's even reasonable for this Queen of Wands. Okay, so we have healing and the 5 of Fire. I love the 5 of Fire. I haven't pulled this card in a long time, but I think that you'll find relevance in both of these cards, so I'm going to read them both to you. We're going to start with healing. Healing is an 11 card. So healing has past, present, future, a regular meaning, and potential blockage. Ouch, don't bite my ear. I'm going to read the present part because I think that's relevant to you in this moment, Cancer. Okay, here we go. It is time. Is it time to have a health check? You might not have visited with your chosen health practitioner for a while, and it might be time to do so, just to make sure that everything is as it should be. Address any unresolved health issues in the present so that it does not develop into something more problematic in the future. If you are in pain and you do not know why, seek help. If you have unexplained symptoms and reactions, now is the time to discover why. Act now so that your future is long and bright. You might also just need to take a moment to look within and determine whether there are any unresolved thoughts or feelings that need to be addressed in order to maintain your emotional and mental well-being. The healing card in the present symbolizes pain and suffering in the now, and the importance of addressing it in the now. If you are experiencing any form of pain, do not ignore it. If you are feeling burdened by weighted emotion, whether fear, guilt, remorse, jealousy, or regret, do not ignore it. Do not shrug aside the moments and feelings that cause you pain with a false air of detachment or a belief that what you are feeling is based in nature and unworthy of your time or attention. Your feelings are very worthy, and there are times when your attention is necessary. When the healing card appears in the present, it symbolizes the need to be honest and expressive. Instead of choosing a path of repression and denial, it is time to listen, determine, and acknowledge the source of your discomfort or distress, and then to do what is necessary in order to heal. It also represents the need to take aggressive measures in matters that are repeatedly causing you distress. It is time to de-stress. It is important not to ignore the little things or leave anything unaddressed or unexpressed. It is especially important not to deny hurt or anger if you are feeling it, If something or someone has caused you upset, be honest and say so. It is often the little splinters and barbs that lead to infection that would not have the opportunity to develop if we had taken the time to treat the wound immediately. We ignore the small slights and discourtesies without realizing that, over time, our failures to acknowledge and address them has allowed them to grow into major resentments that can bring disruption to our lives and relationships. Instead of reacting, we overreact. Instead of taking 5 minutes to clear the air along the way, we simmer in silence until we can remain silent no longer and react in a manner that destroys. Worse still, those little things create stress and feed stress, and stress can and does make us ill. Unaddressed and unacknowledged pain and fear and anger can become a source of dis-ease and suffering. Act with compassion, but also without guilt and remorse to remove toxic elements from your life. Do so with the awareness that there are times when the only way to move forward, to heal completely, is to act in a manner that you know will bring you discomfort. The appearance of the healing card suggests, however, that if you do not act now, there may be far greater consequences. If what seems like being cruel to be kind is the only option available that will bring you healing, then the healing card in the present advises you to do so. You might need to end a relationship. You might need to get off your backside, move, and lose weight in order to prevent dis-ease. You might need to learn how to relax and be still, to play and to laugh. Regardless, this is one of those moments when you do what needs to be done, even if it means enduring suffering more in the short term. Finally, you may also be presented with the opportunity to rise above and transcend the moment, but in order to do so, you will still need first to acknowledge and then forgive the moment and your reaction to it. You do not need to pretend you have no feeling about the situation. You are not stone. You are not impervious. So allow yourself to feel and then to react. How you respond after, that is your choice. But if there's a funny side, try to seize it and laugh until your sides hurt. Life is too short, and laughter is always the best medicine. So again, this could indicate some kind of health issues that you're dealing with. This could indicate emotional and mind over matter, heartbreak that you're dealing with. So obviously, Cancer, this is something that you're going to want to address. Whether it is the situation that you're going back into or the relationships that you're dealing with that you're feeling some heartbreak around. Let's get this 5 of fire, sorry. Okay, this one's a little long too, about a page and a half. Here we go, Cancer. The 5 of fire symbolizes a time of chaos, conflict, or confrontation, either at hand or ahead. Someone now may see themselves or others as a rival or competitor and may be willing to use ruthless or aggressive measures to come out on top. Rivalry between people in a battle for control and dominance can lead one person to place obstacles in the path of another in order to slow their progress or deter them completely. Why? Because they want to be the one with the power, influence, or potential wealth and will not allow a competitor to take what they believe to be theirs. This ugly situation is now often made worse by technology and social media. Rumors can be spread, lies told, and reputations destroyed, and all can be accomplished with almost complete anonymity. Trouble with that word. At its extreme, we can see bullying in the modern age as a gladiatorial sport for voyeurs. A victim is thrown to the wolves while an aggressor sits upon their throne and spectators scream for blood, following their leader blindly and embracing a pack mentality. But these wolves do not hunt for survival. They hunt for sport and recreation or simply because another asks them to. All too often, they hide their attack behind a belief that it is their right to question and then judge and condemn the life choices of another. If aggression is motivated by rivalry, the aggressors may declare that their rival has copied or stolen their ideas that have often been expressed in one form or another countless times before, all over the world by people who have never met and never will meet. Now, because technology has made the world smaller and social networks have created connections across the globe, complete strangers can be attacked simply because someone who knows someone who works in a similar way or has a similar business saw that similarity and brought it to the attention of someone who then allowed their own ego or fears to have them believing the worst. Whatever its motivation, lives have been ended because one or more have decided to target another with vicious cruelty. The 5 of fire therefore represents a choice to walk one of two paths, to embrace or even condone this behavior or to end it. If the choice is to embrace it, do so knowing that you will be met with the same aggression, because aggression only perpetuates more aggression. Instead, if you choose to believe that another is your rival and has stolen your work, then use the legal methods in place to protect your interests if you are not willing to do so. Then do the honorable thing, step away and move on. Do not embrace spiteful and malicious behavior, or it may be you who finds yourself judged and condemned, with reputation ruined. If your choice is to help end it, then be mindful of your actions. All too often, unkind behavior comes in the form of a joke or a laugh at the expense of another. A discussion about another's life choices, spirituality, sexuality, or appearance can appear to be intolerant and condemning to someone who is watching or listening. You are entitled to your opinions, but be mindful of who can see or overhear what is written or said. And if you cannot be certain that another will not be hurt or upset by your words, then it is best to keep your opinions to yourself. Abide by the golden rule in this moment. Treat others how you yourself would ask and expect to be treated. If you would not like to have your choices questioned and judged, or to be attacked for no good reason other than you had a similar idea to another, then do not do the same to others. There you go, Cancer. I mean, honestly, I don't know your situation, but I think this does apply to the fact that you are questioning whether or not to return to something that maybe was volatile or hurtful or damaging to you or others, due to the fact that you have some connections maybe that you want to return to as well. So I believe the cards are indicating maybe there's some healing that needs to be done first before you reconsider the options that you have before you. Obviously, relationships are important. And I'm going to leave that here. I hope that this reading gave you some clarity, Cancer. It sounds like a very complicated situation, a very hard situation to be going through. So I wish you all the best, and I hope that this reading helped in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. If it did resonate, please give me a like, share, subscribe, or leave a comment if you want to. I'd appreciate it, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye, Cancer.